This meeting is being recorded.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us for tonight's session of HR Mentorship Series. Our topic for today is employee advocacy, turning employees into brand ambassadors. Employee advocacy, turning employees into brand ambassadors. Our facilitator is Kumbi Adetunji. I'd like to read our profile very briefly. Kumbi is a seasoned human resource professional with extensive experience that spans across facets of HR management. She's passionate about continuous learning and development. She's a senior professional in Human Resource International SPHRI, a full member of the Nigerian Institute of Training and Development, an associate member of Chartered Institute of Personnel Management, CIPM, and a member of the Society for Human Resource Management. In addition to this, she holds an MBA in marketing and a diploma in HR management. Adekunbi is presently working with the Mandela Group as the assistant HR manager. She has worked also with First Inland Bank as branch admin officer and First Bank and a law firm. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to hand you over to Kumbi as she takes over presentation. Over to you, madam.
Thank you so much, Dr. Oluyemi Adeosun. First and foremost, I'd like to appreciate you for the privilege given to me to be able to come to this platform to talk about key issues in HR space. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about employee advocacy, how we can turn our employees to become our brand ambassador. For tonight, we want to look at what employee advocacy is all about. We want to look at what employee advocacy is all about. Why the need for employee advocacy? Why do you want to make your employees to be your brand ambassador? How do I build that loyalty so much so that my employees will be proud of me and want to sing my song at every given opportunity? We want to know the best practice to use for employees to become your advocacy, the tools that we can use, and also how the success can be measured. All this we're going to discuss in the course of our today's webinar. So I will start from employee advocacy. Maybe I should ask, when we talk of employee advocacy, what comes to our mind? When we talk of employee advocacy, what comes to our mind? You can unmute and speak. Employee advocacy, what comes to our mind? I want someone to say something about employee advocacy before we get.
You need to unmute again, ma. You need to unmute, ma. Madam, you need to unmute. Please continue.
Okay, when we talk about employee advocacy, it's even talking about when employee of a company decide to talk about his employer at every opportunity, even when they is not solicited. No, they always want to talk about the employer. They want to showcase their product. They want to know what they are selling and all that. And then it is an initiative that employee takes. It's not that anyone is compelling them to, but it's an initiative that they take so that the whole world may know what they are doing. Sorry, I'm trying to bring back the slide. So when they are talking about the product, they're talking about the services, talking about the brands, talk about what they sell, the company brand. You see them talking about it online, talking about it offline. At every opportunity they have, they always want to showcase the company. They want the outside world to see that company as an employer of choice. Such an employee, it's like they carry the issue on the head. They are ready to talk and talk and talk about the company. Now, when we talk about brand, making your employee your brand ambassador, this employee is this sense of employee who saw values in your company, who are happy to be part of the organization. And at every opportunity, they want to promote the brand. They won't talk about the value. Oh, come to my company. We are a company of care. We care for our employees. We are a company of integrity. Oh, we are very accountable. There's transparency. No, they are always driving the business of the company. That's what we mean by we turning employee to our brand ambassador. My question is, what will make somebody, why will why we want employee to be your brand ambassador? There's so more benefits that you can get as an employee of labor when your employee are singing your song. Employee branding, being your ambassador, is not something that somebody will just wake up and say, oh, I want to be a brand ambassador. It's something that you earn over time. Before they will say they want to be your ambassador, they would have seen what you are doing. They believe someone, they trusted you, and by so doing they go about telling people about what you are selling. Just recently I went to ITF. While I was with ITF, the AC was not cooling, and I said, what's happening? The whole place is off, there's no AC. And they said, oh, that they are tired of the AC that they are using. I was like, please come to my company, we sell AC. They said, hey, you put. I said, yes, we sell AC. They said, no, they don't know us for sales of AC. They only know that we are into automobile. I said, no, our major business is even AC. And I began to talk and talk and talk and talk about it. The other time I went to one eatery, I saw our product. I was so excited. In fact, everybody that went there with me knew that company, knew that product is from where I work. This can only happen when your employees are happy with you. So why the need? The need is that when your employees are singing your song, they're happy, it increases your credibility. It increases your trust. People that are already doubting your credibility, no, if it's coming from the horse's mouth, it makes them to believe you more. And they'll be like, if someone can come from this company and is speaking like this with all passion, it means they are doing well. And before you know it, people will start coming to your stand. They want to buy. They want to know what you are doing. There was a time we went for a job fair at NECA. It was sometimes last year. We were at NECA stand. While the program was going on, I observed that there's some HR rep that came to represent the company. They left the stand. They started going to other stand, trying to make friends, trying to parley. No, as they went as far as giving their own CV to those employers. And I was like, wow, wow, wow. That tells us that such employees, they are not happy where they are. And such employee, they are only at that forum because they are being mandated to be there. They are not there because they are happy. They are not there on their own evolution. If they have their way, they will not want to come. So when we are saying, why delay it? Why do you want to make your employee your advocate? When you do this, it boosts your brand image. Many companies are not notable. Many employers of labor are not notable. And for people to be able to, somebody needs to speak for you. So if your employee are happy for you, they are happy with you, and they are going out to talk about you, before you know it, the whole universe gets to know about you. And of course, they come out as a brand ambassador. Brand ambassador is saying that they began to educate customers about your product. Even those that are not really in the sales team, they're not in the marketing team. No, you see that they want to talk about because they want the business to continue. And by so doing, it becomes a plus for the company because you are making money. Not only more making money, you are even meeting up your objectives. You become more visible. Okay, I remember sometimes ago, I met one of my ex-employee, one of my ex-staff. We met. Okay, I put a call to her that, oh, I have some money I want to invest. Please give me the rates of the bank where she is working. And she said to me, don't worry, I'll call you later on. I was expecting her call. She never called until when I got home. Then I saw her call and I said, why are you just calling? She said she doesn't want to talk because she was in the office. So we're like, okay, what is the issue? She said, I don't want you to bring your money to that bank. And I began to wonder why. She said, and she began to tell me reasons. I said, okay, I will not go. And I did not go. And now you can imagine the what would have the havoc that has done to that institution. This is a bank that ordinarily people just walk in and make deposit. But because I have an insider, so I could have an insight to what is going in that institution. And because of that, I did not take my money there. And from there too, For those that also want to have something to do with the bank, I believe the please don't go there from the right from the someone inside that they said this and this and this. But when your employee are happy with you, they want to educate your customer, they want to drag more customer into business. And not only that, why another thing is that they also help you to expand your social media and influence, become more visible on online. There are some employer of labor that we have not heard about them and that they doing business. There was a time some people came in for interview, and because of the interview asked, what do you know about our company? Because I work with Mandela. They said, oh, it's a place where they sell wares. I said, wares? Mandalas have never sold wares. Wares is not part of our product. But because the company was situated inside the Balogun market at that point in time, the head office was at Lagos Island. They felt that's what we're doing. So I was able to convince them, start educating them. Oh, this is not what we do. And now we are trying to make ourselves more visible by going online, to let people know this is what we do. We are into automobile, we are also into cooling. And of course, only an employee that is engaged that will go extra mile to do all this. And for the employer, it saves you lots of cost of marketing, cost of advertising, cost of even paying PR. No, your CSR, it will be minimized. You wouldn't want to spend so much, and by so doing, it enhances your culture. No, it shows that that place is not a toxic environment. And of course, your employee become your mobile. Just like I said, I went to ITF and I was telling ITF that they should come and buy our products, that they should, the AC they're using is not too good, but they should come to where they can get a better AC. Now, the next question is that why would somebody want to be your brand ambassador? What is so unique that want somebody to say, oh, I want to speak for you, I want to be your spokesperson? The first thing is that you need to look into your employee experience. It has to be excellent. Our employee has to be a top notch, starting from when an employee come in and when he exits. Many of us, when people come in, when we invite people for interview, they come in for interview, we keep them waiting without any interaction, any communication. No, they will just sit and be watching. There was a company who invited me for interview some time ago. The first time I went, the second time, even why the very first time I went, deep down my mind, I knew that I can't work there, because they kept us at a place. The place itself was not even conducive. We are just there waiting. Nobody came to even talk to us until when they were ready. Some employer will say that trying to test the patience of an employee. To me, I don't see that one as a means of testing the patience of an of employee. It just shows our incompetency. So we need to be very careful the way we treat employees when they come for recruitment, because even your candidates can end up, even when they are not succeeding, can end up being your brand ambassador. They will go and tell, oh, that company, I was there for an interview, though I didn't get the job, but I like the service. It was a top notch. When I got in, they took me to a very conducive place. I was seated. Before I knew, they brought me water. They came to ask if I gave a cup of tea. They came to ask if I need snacks and all that. And within a short space, they started attending to me. All this boosts the morale of the employees. And for someone that is even not successful, they go about telling people about that company. It's a place to be. Also, unfortunately that I did not escape the interview, but I like the service. It's a top notch. And of course, when they're exiting, how do you treat your employee when they're exiting? It is very key. When they are, we need to treat them as king, even when they are exiting, so that by the time they go, they will be your ambassador. They'll be talking about you. When I joined my present company, I saw people coming around, and I began to, who had this one? They said they were retirees, people who have worked and left, but they're still coming to do business. Anytime they have referral, they come around to sell. And of course, most of the time we give them discount so that they can have leverage, can have more money than a regular customer. So all these things is very key. So when you treat them, the experience, when they come in, they're happy with you. There was this negative experience I had some time ago when an employee walked in, and then a senior colleague picked on that employee and said, why are you dressed like this? Why are you having handcuffs on your nails? Why are you covering your head? And they were making it an issue. Oh, and then somehow, some way they brought it to HR attention. We have to call the senior colleague that, what has that got to do with the business? If employee is wearing anchor on the nails, what has that got to do with you? Is that why we are here? We are not here for that. We are here to make money and to make everybody to be themselves. Be we have to be as flexible as possible. We don't need to be rigid. Those times that it has to be following rules. The era of rules have gone. So we need to be very careful the way we relate. Now, compensation and benefit. As our compensation and benefit, are we also lagging or we are leading? If people want to come to you, is your salary, your compensation, are they are they fair? Can we compare with other people in same industry? Does it is it a benchmark, or you are leading or you are lagging? All these things are also very important, because if your employee are not happy with the salary, believe in me, there's no how they'll be your ambassador. They rather divert your business. I've seen that happen many places where people divert business. I'll just give you an example where I called in an employee that I want to bring my money to the bank. And she said, please don't bother to come. I'll speak to you later in the day. And she gave me referral to somewhere else. So it's also very key. Make sure that the employee, the salary we are paying, is commensurable to what they are doing. What about giving them a voice? Do you allow them to talk? Or when they talk, you silence them? You want to say, oh, keep quiet. You are, your voice, your ideas is not needed. Your suggestion is not needed. There was a time in my life when I got a job. I When I got to the newly employed place, I saw some things that I felt were not normal. So I put up my arguments and all that, and I presented to my head. And he said to me, "Madam, nobody solicits for your idea. Just keep it to yourself." I said, "I'm sorry, sir," and I left it. But after many years, he exited, and then we have another head, and I took same document to the new HR, the head of the HR. Oh, said, wow, these are good. And she was able to embrace all the ideas. So we should allow our employee to speak. Let's not be shutting them down. Even when you feel the idea are not good enough, there's a way you can communicate without being offensive. Then what about our environment? Do you foster a positive work environment? Are there silos? Are people free with each other? Can they trust each another? Or there are lots of silos in place that will make employee um, feeling uncomfortable? What about the culture? Your culture, how is it? Is it the one that is friendly, or is the one that is toxic? When your culture is toxic, no matter the strategy you put in place, your culture will eat it up. So we're very careful with the kind of culture we put in place. There are some people, they will tell you, this place, so we are this, we are that. But when you look deep down, they are very toxic. It is the opposite of what you see on the website. So every employer needs to be very careful, so that you don't lose your employees. Before, if care is not taken, you will think that they are with you, but on the main side, they are not with you. They are only there because they are seeing any salary, whereby they are looking outside for something else. Yeah, talking about career advancement. Do you have a plan in place for your employee? Do they know? Is it even communicated to them? Do they know the plans we have in place for them? Are they written down? Sometimes ago, there was one of our employees that resigned. Then we scheduled this guy for exit interview. In the course of the interview, he made mention that he's been on a roll for a while, and he was thinking that he should have been promoted. Somewhere along the line, the assistant to the manager resigned. So the guy was hoping that he will fill in. And truly speaking, he has all it takes to fill that role. But somehow, some way, nobody was saying anything. And before we knew it, we brought in someone else from outside without looking inwards. It's always good to look inward, but there are lots of employees. Some may even be doing they may be on a road, but there's another road that they aspire to do. There's something that they believe they can deliver better, even more than what they're doing. You don't need to restrict them to a specific role. But at the same time, we need to understand their career path so that we don't take them outside what they have on the plan. Now, this young man resigned. Then we now manager. That what happened? This guy said that he was hoping that he will fill in this role, which was not communicated, and now that was why he resigned. He said, "There's nothing like that. That he's so sorry about it." And the guy began to defend it, and he made us understand that it is even the guy is projecting to take over when he resigns. Then we said to say, "Oh, somebody is to take over when you resign," and up till now he does not know. There's no handshake. There's no communication. Automatically, it's very glaring that he doesn't want that guy to fill that role. We tried to persuade the guy, but eventually he exited. But it's always good to prevent some things, because to replace is always cheaper. It's always better to prevent people from going than replacement, because retention cost always cheaper. because when you want to replace, now I talk about the adverts, the time of hiring, the time they get to the system is a whole lot. So as employer of labor, as HR practitioners, when there are vacancy, let's always look inward. When you have the culture that look inward, every employee will be happy. Every employee we want to grow their career with knowing full well that, oh, if I can stay longer on this with this company, there is this assurance that I can get to the level of the manager. But when there's no communication, when there's no clear career path, when they don't know their plans, you say, ah, oh, I have a lot of plans. HR always have plan when employee are resign. It is not good. We need to deviate from that. Let's make sure that we communicate to the employee. When you are positioning people for higher position, start grooming them. Let them know. Let there be communication. It's always better than when they are, because most of the time when they drop, they don't retrieve. So we need to be very careful. Then of course, our social relationship, how do we relate? Is there a cordiality? Is there a relationship between the employee and the management? Or the gap is so wild? I remember there was a place I worked whereby somebody, it was even a bank industry. I was closing one day and the manager said to me, I said, good night, everyone. He said, come back here. Who's your everyone? You know, I mean, they believe that they are higher than the younger ones. And of course, from that day, I lost it. I was not happy in the branch until I left that place. So we need to be very careful the way we do our thing. There should be a relationship. We should always have at the back of our mind the employees, the HR. We are all there as employees, either you believe it or not. Either you are representing the management or you are an employee. We are all employees. Even the MD, we are all employees if you are not the owner of the business. So one day, someone will leave. So we need to be very careful so that we don't make people to leave earlier than the plan. Then communication. How do we communicate? Is our communication offensive? Do we communicate in a way that you it's like talking down on people, making them feeling as if they are not worthwhile, making them feeling as if they are not important? It is not good. Make your employee feel comfortable when you're talking. Talk with them with respect. Say respect will always be we get respect. Imagine calling a driver, ah, my oga, how are you today? You know, you will feel cool. If oga is calling a driver oga, that driver will go any match for you to get things done. He will always protect your interest. If something that is not pleasant is about to happen, he will be the first to alert you. But when you don't see them as part of the business, when you treat them like a driver, they too will relate to you as a driver. And of course, it is you that will feel the bonds more. So now, how do I start? How can I make my employee to be my ambassador? The first thing, our labor practice, we need to be fair. There should be fair labor practices. Talking about policies, our procedure, and our process, everything have to be fair. Our policy in time of recruitment, what does the policy say? How do you bring in people? Do you people that are not competent? Do you bring people in based on man no man? There was an interview I went some not recently. I went to the first, second stage of that interview. Then when it's time for me to go for the final interview, and they said that on the third interview, I'll be meeting with the MD of the company. Behold, I've not met with the MD. And after 2 weeks, I got a mail to say the MD has moved on with the next candidate. And I said to myself, what a thing. Is that the policy they play? Is that the policy in this company? Even if we are not to take that candidate, Kosi demands that just give her that evidence of doubt. Let her come for the interview. You need deep down that I'm not going to take this employee, but let him still come for the interview and look for a polite way to let him know that, oh, we are sorry, you are not on this stage, you are not successful, but though you've done excellently well, but for the final stage, we may need to move on with the next candidate, or we may need to end this competition at this level. That is fair enough. The employee will be happy, and we know that, oh, someone has done better than me, than when an employee has not even met and you are writing to say you are moving on. What are you moving on? That shows that that's unfair labor practice to me. Your policies are not fair. Now your procedure. How do you go about your procedure? What are your procedures like when you want to do when there's conflict management, when there's a grievances? What are the procedures? Do you follow the laid down procedures, or you do it based on, oh, this is my person, you cannot apply same rule, you cannot apply same rules? it is not good. Before your employee can be your advocate, before they will say, I want to speak for this company. Your labor practice must be very fair. They have to see transparency. They have to see that you are very transparent about what you are doing and your processes. How do you go about your processing? Everything about the company, how do you process it? So all these things we need to look into to ensure that we are doing the best labor. I mean the best practice as contained in our labor law, especially in the international labor law. Then your employees, how do you see them? Do you just see them as just a tool that are just there for you to make profit? No, employee are not a tool. They are also human being like us. In as much that they to render a service to be paid, but we need to respect them. Respect is very key. You must respect your employee. When you respect an employee, that employee, if you see them as integral part of the business, I'm telling you, they will go extra mile for you. Even the job that is not assigned to them, they'll be willing to take it up for you. Why? Because you have given them recognition. You see them as human beings. You see them as stakeholders, people who have a say in the business, not just a tool to make profit. So we need to be very careful the way we relate with the employee, because many, especially we HR, we see ourselves as more superior to the employee. We are not. You are only there, occupy that role as HR. Employees who are there to do their own roles in whatever field they are operating. So we need to be very careful the way we relate with them. Then once in a while, you can set up a kind of an activities, a bonding activities that involve both the management and the junior level, at all cadres, where everybody will be there to rub minds, to discuss, just to relax, like an informal setting, like all this Thank God It's Friday that we do, like my place of work, we do what we call birthday celebrations, Thank God It's Friday and all that. It's just a forum to bring the management close to the employee so that they will not be seeing them as somebody that eye that they cannot approach. Then also in my office, we do what we call open door policy. People know that they can walk to HR and lay their complaint. We allow people to come in. So with that mindset that, HR is open to everybody. So everybody is on his toe. They are being careful. They will not mistreat an employee because they know whatever they do, it will get to HR. And of course, when this HR is calling, you know what that means. And of course, time to time, carry out a survey. Let's know their opinion. Try to find out what will make an employee to stay with you in the next 3, 4, 5 years. Try to find out, not where they are exiting. Do a stay interview with them. When you do a stay interview, you will be able to see all the loopholes, those gray area that employees are not comfortable with. Not until when they say, not until when they drop their resignation. Before anything happens, try to nail it, try to find out. And of course, whatever they bring to the table, try to resolve and let there be a feedback. Always let there be a feedback. Sometimes ago, I did a training in the office, and then some of the employees complained that they don't like the way the senior employees send them on errands, personal errands. Of course, we told the senior employee that they have to stop it. People are not here for personal errands; they're here for business. Yes, I can go on personal errands based on relationship, but it's not that because you are my manager, you are my superior, that does not give you the authority to send me on personal errands. So we need to have that open door policy. We are talking about what we can do to make our employee our brand ambassador, how they can what can make them to go about talking about us. And then I'll talk about onboarding. Onboarding too is very, very important. Onboarding determines if somebody is going to have a career with you. It is the starting. When an employee come in and then your experience it is not good and they are not happy the way the HR or the management or the managers relate with them, for as they're coming from the onboarding, they're already taking this, I don't think I'm going to stay. Oh, 2, 3 months, I am out. So we need to be very careful, make sure that our onboarding is is a top notch, make them feel homely, make them feel welcome. Let's bring in, like in my office, what we do, we bring in all the executive management to have an handshake with them from day one. And from there, we say, this is going to be your GM you'll be working with. We will marry them together so that I will make the MD to understand that this person we are marrying to, we don't want to hear story that is resigning. So whatever you need to do to retain and keep them, you must do it. Because HR does not want So it's sure that we have to start all over again. We are not interested in that. So all this is well communicated. And because this is communicated, everybody is being careful to ensure that they do what is best. Now, we want to look at what are those avenues, the tools they can use to talk about the company. What are those areas, those tools they can use to advocate for company? Social media is a good one. Yes, an employee that's engaged will go on the social media. They want to post the company news. They want to share news. They want to post content. They want to do so many things about the company so that people can know that, oh, this company exists. And not only that, you see, there's these ideas that say that where the leg cannot reach, your mouth can reach. People will go about telling people about this company. Come and see. Oh, I've been with this. This is what they do. No, and you know one thing. You don't, when you are not good to your employee, you don't need to tell them to speak in your favor. Automatically, they will talk. You can't stop it from talking. Be it good or bad, people must to talk. But it's always good when they are talking. Let it be that they are recommending your company to others. They are bringing your company to limelight. They are telling people about the good things they have experienced. And when somebody comes from your company is talking about your company, people listen more. That when you go out on television, tell people, oh, in this company, this is what we do. In XYZ, this is what we do. They want to hear from people who are with you. So we need to be very careful so that when they are speaking, and the one thing I've realized lately is that this generation, they are different from our own generation. In our generation, even when things are not fair, we tend to manage, we tend to get on with the company. But this generation, they don't send you. Once they are not happy with you, they are out. You just see them one day, they drop their resignation. So we need to be very careful. And not only will they drop, they will be telling their friends. There was a guy that had an issue with our line managers, and the guy came to report to me. Why he came to report, I was trying to listen to him. His friend was already putting man to say, madam, you don't understand. This is what he's trying to say. This was I was Is it that you guys are already discussing about? Okay, don't worry, I will find a solution, which I eventually did. So we need to be very careful so that when people are talking about, let them talk something positive, not negative. Another thing they can do is about content creation. You know, all this TikTok is very popular nowadays. You see people posting TikTok. If they are happy about the company they work for, they create a TikTok, they'll post it. You see their articles, they create blogs, they do a lot of reviews online. All those things is to make you acceptable. It's to make the company visible. So employer of labor, we need to make our place conducive. Give them the free hand to operate. So people don't want they don't want to be restrained. They don't want to live by rules. They want freedom. Just like I used to say, we give people assignments, put a timeline, and leave them to deliver. Don't micromanage. By the time you are saying this how to do it, they won't want to do it. So leave them. This generation, they are so blessed. They are loaded with so many creation, content creation. Leave them. Let them develop this thing for you. Public speaking and presentation. Sometimes ago, I remember at every opportunity I have in my former life, I want to talk about my office. How even in church, you see me, I want people to come and bank with us. I want to talk about our product. There are so many parents then, so many parents in church that open account for the children as a result of my speaking with them, because I always want to engage them because I love what I was doing, and the place was also good because I was at a branch that was very good before I moved to another branch that I was not too pleasant with. So at events and conferences, people want to share your flyers. They want to talk about you, even when it is not your company that is doing event. People want to talk about it, and you see, to know that your company is acceptable when you share event, when you share your flyer, people keep it. But there are some people that will give us flyer just straight on the floor because we do not have interest, do not believe in them. So through event, through conferences, they can share your flyers, they can tell people about your company. Then of course it brings about referrals and recommendations. You know, after a long while, people will start coming to do business with you because someone internally, someone among your employee has been able to convince them to say, oh, come to my company, we are doing well. And of course, how do you measure success? Yes, You, one of the ways to measure success is through engagement metrics. You realize that most of your employees, they are engaged, because wherever that they're talking about you. I was speaking to one of my employees 2 weeks ago, and he said, "Ah, you don't know what we go to when we are on the field. That we even job that they know it's not easy or it's not part of what they will take it for the company, so that the company can make money. Because why? They can do that because they are engaged. They enjoy what they are doing, and they know that the more they do, the more money we make, the more incentive they get. So everybody is engaged doing the business of the business of the company. And by so you see that in your website, there will be a lot of likes, people will be sharing your adverts, people will be tweeting, people will be making comment, positive comment, because someone in the company has gone out to post about the company. I hope we are together. Hello.
Yes, we are. We are
Yes,
enjoying
we are.
you. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Then your company will be able to, your reach will be more visible. There'll be lots of impression, all those places that normally your legs cannot reach, even your adverts cannot. Your employees will do that for you, free of charge. The money you that pay to start reaching out, your employee have saved you that money by reaching out on your behalf. No, creating good impression about the company. And you see everybody will now, where is which company is this? Everybody will look forward to work with you. And by so doing, there will be more customers and there will be more sales. And you realize that even your website, there will be traffic. Everybody, the number of people that are visiting will be different from what it was in the past, because your happy employee are bringing in happy customer. There's a slogan, there's this bank that used to say happy employee, happy customers. And then I used to tell people that when we talk about happy employee, happy customers, there are two types of employee in a workplace. You have the internal, we have the external. The internals are your employees. When you treat them well, they will go outside speaking, telling people, bringing more people, even their friends. They will give you good candidates that can boost your business. Then employee persuasion and retention. Those people will want to stay, they want to build career with you, they will enjoy working with you, and your attrition will be very, very low. And of course, for we HR, we'll be happy when our attrition is low. So by the time we are doing appraisal, the player base, you've done excellently well. Consider your attrition is very low. So that is what. Then again, of course, the bottom line is customer satisfaction. The bottom line is profitability. There will be increase in rate of customer satisfaction and loyalty, and there will be more money. So everybody, and when there's more money, like in my own company, for instance, we share incentive twice a year. There are bonuses. So this employee, they know that, if we are able to do more, everybody will smile at the end of the day. So these are things we have done, and I'm also advocating as employer of labor, as employees, as HR professionals. We need to revamp our system so that it can be a one that everybody will want to bank with us and to be part of the business. And everybody wants to be part of the business. Now, sorry, the slide is way back. Now, there's something I saw online talking about success. I read it online talking about importance of employer brand for attracting candidates. For you to attract the best candidate, the talents, then you have to be visible in the business world. You have to be visible. I got to that 75 of the candidates, before they come to say I want to apply, they first of all go and research your brand. They want to know what you are doing. They want to read what employees have dropped before they say, I want to work with this firm. They always research. Gone are the days that people just want to take up anything. I went for an interview one day. I said to myself that even if they offer me employee, I'm not going to take it. Because when I even saw the way the employees were doing, I can see that they were not looking friendly. Not looking friendly has told me that there's a problem here. So I quickly run. So always remember that people go to your site to check before they drop the CV for you. And not only that, I'm also making to understand that 83% of employers say that the employer brand plays a significant role in ability to hire talent. your brand play a significant role to hire talent. 83%, you can imagine, which means that only 17 are the ones that they don't really care. 83 say that your brand says a lot about you. Your brand plays a lot. It determines if I want to work with you or not. And of course, 69% says, I will not accept your job. I will not accept job with a firm with bad reputation. There are some companies, when people mention that, they say, I can't go there. Even in this our HR mentorship, many times when there's a post, I read people's comments. I see people saying, this company, they are always posting advert. Is it that people are leaving every day? In such a company, you can see that they have high attrition rates. So if you don't want that to happen, or don't want to have a bad reputation in your company, you need to be very careful about your brand. People will not accept to join a firm with bad reputation. Nobody wants to go far with you. And even those that you think that with you, they're only there temporarily. Once they find something, everybody will be exiting. So before it goes so bad, before you go to a level where you cannot remedy the wrong, it's better to start righting the wrong from now. And lastly, in summary, I would say that a good employer advocacy, of course, is a good tool any employer can use to turn your employee to brand ambassador. And for that to happen, it is not something that happened by accident. You have to be very intentional about it. As an employer of labor, you must be intentional from beginning that, this company that we are running, we must succeed with it. I don't want to lose out. Everything you need to put in place for the employee to enjoy, you have to do it. So by implementing a strategy that is based on making your employee happy, they'll bring in happy customers, there'll be more money, everybody will be happy. And when two customers are happy with you, they will give you more referral. But when your customers are not happy, and of course it starts from the internal customer. When your employees are not happy, your external cannot be happy. Because when you get to them, say, please, I'm here. The way they even respond to you, you'll be put off. But you don't really blame them. It's a function of what is happening in that axis. It's a function of the culture, it's a function of what is happening. There are a lot of they've seen a lot of unfair practice. And then I also want to say this. I hear people say something like, anytime I hear people say that salary is confidential, I may be wrong, but I find it very absurd. How can you say that your salary is confidential? There should be transparency, for crying out loud. If somebody are on same road doing same job, I see no reason why the salary should not be the same. It should be the same. In as much you're on same, when we're in the bank industry, they do roles, they're different levels. And for each of the levels, the salary are the same. Everybody know what this person is earning. But when you get to a place and they say that salary is confidential, please pick race. Something is wrong in that place, because even on the internet, you can see people's salary. People display salary for others to see. So why would somebody say salary is confidential? It's only confidential because you are not doing it right. So we need to be very careful. For every role, I should know if I'm able to do this and do that, I should be able to move to the next cadre. And by so doing, my salary will be moved to this level. But when you are hiding salary or you are doing double standard, the salary you pay A is different from B. There's already a problem in the system. It not only take long before it will be visible. So every employer of labor, we HR professionals, we are representing employers. We are the face of the management. It is we they know. Before they go to management, it is HR they say. Please let us begin to educate our employers how to do things right. Let's learn to do things right. And like I always tell my colleagues in office, that there's nothing hidden. The only antidote for people not to know is for you not to do it. So anything you cannot be bold to say, that is happening in the organization, please don't do it. Let's debate. I'm happy that I'm talking to my co-professionals that we are all doing same thing. So we need to improve so that we can also become an employer of choice. Thank you very much. Oga Yemi. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Oga Yemi. Okay, do you have any question for all we have done so far? Do you have any question? While I'm waiting for Gayemi to take over, Gayemi, I want to know if my Gayemi is still here or he has exited. Do you have any question?
I don't think Dr.
Any
Liemi
of
is
the
on court.
question
I
can
think he's
please
on.
ask a question, or you can drop it in the chat box.
Good evening, ma. Please, I
Yes,
have a
ma'am.
question. Though
I'm with you.
not directly related to the main topic, but just with your what you were giving, your conclusion speech, where you said
Okay.
salary is not supposed to be confidential.
Yes.
Please, I want to ask. So, if you are in an organization where um salary they treat salary as confidential, and the truth is because not everybody is paid the same and they don't want issues, as a new HR person in that place, how can you try to make things better?
Thank you very much for that question. Yes, to me, salary should not be confidential. It's what everybody should have access to. In terms of salary, if people are doing same role, I see no reason why they should not be paid same salary. But when you feel that A has to earn more than B, then you have to justify why A is earning more than B. They shouldn't be on same level. They should not be on same role. There should be what we call salary structure. If somebody is in group one, people on group one should earn same salary. Those on group two should earn same salary. But when it's already a discrepancy to say someone that doing same job on same role and the salary differs, there is a problem there. Before you know it, the second the employee that you think you are shortchanging or is not earning something, by the time you get to know what you are paying the next person, he will be demoralized. And before you know it, he'll be looking out, thinking, oh, I think this company is not fair enough. Oh, so I'm doing same job with this person and we are not paying same salary. So it's always good to make sure that they are earning salary. It's a different thing. If maybe they do appraisal and based on an appraisal, there's a COLA, there's an adjustment, this difference could be based on appraisal measure. But it's not that from the beginning, from the starting of the business, you are saying that you are not paying the same thing. When they are doing the same, why would salary be different? It should be the same. So we need to go back to the drawing board and let the employer know. Like I made mention that when we're in the banking industry, when you are on row 6, group 6, for example, everybody on that cadre, they earn same salary. Even if you are there for 3 years, they bring somebody yesterday, you earn same salary. For you to get better than that person will be based on appraisal. That will be the only difference. Not because you have known the manager or you know the management. It's not so. Salary have to be uniform. There should be transparency so that everybody can be on the same page. Thank you. I don't know if that answer your question, please.
Yes, it does.
Hello,
Thank you,
madam.
ma.
Does that answer the question, please?
Hello,
Yes, it
Yes,
hello.
ma'am.
does.
Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Mrs. Patosi. Yes, I listened to you. But the question she asked how she would make salary transparent in a company where salary is confidential, and maybe she's a new HR there or something. So what I would say is that the first thing you have to do, you don't have to categorically say Anna is on 650, Kumbi is on 450 and all that. The first thing you do is look at the different people on the levels and first and foremost come up with a salary structure. You see, when you have a salary structure where you have minimum and maximum ranges, and then you can put that out there to say that if you are a trainee, you are going to earn between 650 and 750. By the time you have that kind of a structure with a minimum and a maximum range, the left and the right hand side, should be the one that will be put out there. Then as time goes on, you can now say, initially, you can just put that out there. So people know that, okay, a training, max, you will not earn more than 800. They already know the range, the salary range. Then as time goes on, we can now come to the nitty-gritties. Because as it is, because salaries have been confidential in your own system, you can't just come up to say, manager, human resources manager, 450, all that. Just lump them up based on their different levels. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I appreciate that contribution. Thank you so much. Yes, do you have any question while we are waiting for Dr. Adioshun to reconnect? Do you have any question or any contribution before we call it off? Do you have any contribution? Any addition before we call it off? Any contribution?
David, can you hear me? Oh,
Yes, I can hear you. Please.
ask questions with that.
Please, can you speak out? Your voice is not too visible, please.
Okay, I want to ask question about salaries. Now, for a startup organization that don't have a salary band yet, I want a guide on how to come up with a salary range for, say, officers, senior officers, assistant manager, and that level.
Okay. Thank you so much for that question. Yes, for a company that does not have the salary structure in place, part of what you can do is this. You look at let's say the years of experience, and you can use that and the qualification to categorize to say, oh, people that the let's say people that just the fresh people that are just starting to work, like the new intake, the new graduates, you can say for this category of staff, we place them, let's say for instance 200,000 a month. Let's say that is the salary. And for those who have let's say 1 or 2 years experience, though they are different for those that are still green that just came out from school. You can say for those higher level, those ones that have put in like 2 years, 1 year experience, you can say, okay, see the new graduates are on 200. You can say for those ones, let's put them on 250. So the salary band will be between 200 to 250. You can say for those that have been like 3 to 4 years, you can move it from 250 to 300. You create a band, and then you can say another level who has been in the system, let's say like 5 years of experience. They have this certain qualifications, they have this competency. You can group them to another band. So you create a band for each of these categories. There will be there can be, let's say like where I work, we have what we call group 6. Group 6, they are like the freshers, those that just left school. So those categories, the salary will be between 200 and 250. Then even on that group 6, we have what we call notches. From group 6, we have notch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So which means that for someone that's just starting a career, you can be on that notch, that group 6 for like 5 years. So within that 5 years, you can move after appraisal to notch. For maybe notch 1, you go to notch 2. As you're moving to notch 2, your salary is moving from that one, let's say like 220, until it gets to what it is on the last notch. And it's also possible if the employee is exceptionally good. If is a someone that's exceptionally good, you may not need to go through the whole those route, that 5 stages. Maybe after you have spent 3 years or 2 years or even a year, you can be promoted to another group based on your performance. If this person is really good, you can be promoted. So all those notches, all those cadres give you the ample opportunity to be able to say these are the salary scale that we use for each of our categories. So I don't know if that answer your question.
Yes, it does, but I still have one question. Like, is there a formula? Is there a formula to apply to say from this level to this level, this level to this level? Let's say 15% or 10%. Is there a formula that applies at every increment in level?
Thank you very much. When you talk about there's no we can't say there's no rules. There's no static formula. It depends on each organization. It depends on each company. My company may say, I want to put 20% on salary after appraisal. Another one may say, I want to do 10%. So it depends on what is convenient for the company we are working for. We cannot impose to say. And of course, they will look through the box. What have we made? What is convenient that we can put as COLA, as appraiser metrics that it's that the company will be able to sustain. Because sustainability is also very key. You don't just work in a silo and say, oh, this company is due 20%, I want to do 20%. You may shot yourself in the leg. So you have to be very careful. You have to. That's why that time it's always good to sit with the finance, but they are the one that knows what's coming, what's that they see the books. So they will be able to say, oh, the best we can do is 30%. Oh, we can accommodate 50%. So it depends on what the company can accommodate. And of course, as they are making more money, they increase it. But it's always good. It's always good to start from somewhere. Don't just say, oh, we want to start from 50% increment. And there's some company too. They have it in their policy to say, oh, if you meet the target, if you're able to do this is what you get. That's some company like that. Is already part of the policies, it's part of the process. Everybody knows. So that kind of people will strive to ensure they meet up targets so that they can earn more salary. So all these things boil down to how the employee perceive their employer. Thank you, sir. I don't know if that also answered the second leg of your question.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Hello, sir. What do you say, sir?
Thank you. I'm
All
clear.
right,
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Do we have any other question?
Yes, good evening, ma. My name is Juliet. My questions goes thus. If you work in an organization that they use man no man to fix the salary, what I mean by man no man is maybe someone is brought in by the MD or the CEO, and you later discover that the salary of such person who does not even have more qualification than you do is more or higher than your own salary. And even as the HR, when they bring in these people, you try to advise that no, it can't go this way. They will say no, that is how the MD or the CEO or the chairman wants it. What do you do? Thank you, ma.
Thank you so much, ma, for that question. In the course of my presentation, I made mention that whatever we are doing, employee knows. It's only take a time for it to become more visible. And where such practices take place, such kind of that kind of company does not, they don't fall into the category of what we are even talking about. The employees cannot be an advocate for them, and if they are to advocate, it will be on the negative because they can see what the employers are doing. They are not being truthful. They don't trust them. I mentioned it. Some people they bring in people. Talk about recruitment process. How transparent is it? Is it man or man? If where we are working is man or man, and as an HR, we are following and you are watching. Before you know it, your employee will be leaving one after the other. And the bad thing about it is that the more they leave, the more they drag more employees. I've experienced such in the past. When an employee leaves, before you know it, they start dragging themselves. So it's always better to put our house in order. Let there be a salary structure in place. That is just the best. But where the employer said, oh, this is how they want to run it, you'll be looking at them as an HR. There's no, you can't force it, that the employer. But after some time, if they will have a better understanding, by the time you are having high attrition rates, by the time your the employees are not engaged, by the time you are losing business, by the time people are exiting, you now begin to wonder what is going on. So things like this are things that make people to start living. And so for you to keep the employees, transparency is very key. If an employer want to impose, which is even the order of the day now in the business world, HR, I know we try a lot, but they don't listen most of the time. But nevertheless, let's continue telling them the implication. If you continue running the business like this, a time will come. People don't want to work with you because on your web, people will be talking. Like I said, you can't stop people from talking. People must to talk. You can't stop anybody from talking. They must talk. And when they are talking, they'll be running down the company. By the time everybody starts, you'll be losing business. Maybe by then it will dawn on such an employer that it's not the best practice. It is unfair labor practice. I don't know if that answers your question, ma'am.
It does, ma. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, do we have any other question before we call it a day?
Good evening, man.
Yes, sir.
It's a pleasure to be under your teaching. It is
Thank you,
quite
sir.
inspiring. My own is just an observation. How I
Okay.
wish this kind of teaching can be packaged and be accessible to the employer, because the 80% of the teaching is really preaching to the employer, and which is very, very, very good to boost the company reputation, and to make sure that organization is doing very well, even in the world, in an environment where the economy is not doing well. If an employer can put all these things into place, then no organization can suffer. So I want to salute your courage, man. I wish it can be packaged, maybe in form of a soft copy, and be accessible to most of our employer. Thank you so much. God bless you, man.
Thank you so much for that compliment. I really appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Yes, do we have any other contribution or question before we wrap it up? Okay. In the absence of none, I want to appreciate everyone who has created time to
Hello.
join this webinar. Despite our busy schedule, we created time to attend. I want to thank you for your audience, for your time, and for making this webinar a reality. Thank you so much. I wish you all a wonderful Sunday as we close on the webinar. Thank you very much.
All right. God
Bye.
bless you. Thank you, man.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Thank you
you.
ma.
very
Nice.
God
much.
Thank
bless
you so
you.
much, ma.
More
Thank you.
wisdom. In
Amen.
Thank you.
Jesus' name.
Thank you very much, ma.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, ma. Thank you.